Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be modeling each individual component of this assembly. So after all the components are modeled, we are going to make the assembly following the dimensions provided here. So we'll refer back to this as needed. And then finally, I'm going to show you this exploded view, how to make the setup in Solidworks so you can see a similar animation as you are seeing right now. So let's begin with the referring back to the dimensions. Let's begin with the base. So the base is 120 by 72 millimeters, and then we have 10 millimeters in thickness. So let's start with the new part. The um, the assembly is in millimeters, so let's change the units to millimeters. So let's go to settings, document properties, units. You have here different options. So let's select the millimeters. Let's hit OK. Select the top plane, sketch, center rectangle. Now let's give it some dimensions. So this is 120 by 72 millimeters. Let's hit OK. And let's provide a thickness. Thickness of this one here is 10 millimeters. Let's hit OK. So referring back to the dimensions, so we have this cut at the bottom and also we have a projection on the top, and this is equivalent to 3 millimeters uh, required dimensions. So let's model that. So let's select the side face and then hit sketch. We're just gonna create a rectangle from here to here. So this is 3 millimeters. Then the distance from sidewall to this one here is, so this is 35. Same thing on the other side. So after you do that, we can just hit OK. And then from here, let's go to the cut option through all and OK one more time. So we have the cut at the bottom. So now let's do the projection on the top. Same thing. Select the top face. Let's do a small rectangle. This is 3 millimeters. Then the dimensions should be the same. This is 35. And same thing on the other side, 35. Once you're happy with that, we can hit OK and make the extrusion. You can just do blind or can do, actually, let's do blind. Let's go the other way. And this is 72. So we have the almost complete base. So next thing we have to do is are the holes. These are 12 millimeters drill. This for all 4 holes, and then the also the fillet on the outside corners is also 12. So we can start with the fillets outside. There's an option here with the fillet. Select the fillet option. The distance right here. So this is the radius. So it's 12. So we can select each corner one by one. You can just rotate this. Select that one. After you're happy with that, let's hit OK. And lastly, we have to do the holes. So there is also an option here for the hole wizard. Let's select that. We're going to select the hole right here. And in symmetric drill sizes, and according to the dimensions, we need this to be 12. So after you select that, we're just gonna keep that the same. Let's go to positions and select the face where you want the holes to be at. So you can kind of hover over so you can get the center. Same thing on the other side. You can just like hover a little bit and you can get the center location and then hit OK. So that's our base. From here, we can just give it a nice color. We can just like this one here looks good. Okay, and then we are going to save this. You can just do base one and hit OK. And that's how you do the base. Next, let's do the bushing. Start with the new part. Same thing every time you do a new part, just make sure the units are in millimeters for this problem. We're going to select the front plane and let's do a sketch. So let's see the dimensions here. So we have a 24 millimeters cylinder. That would be the smaller one. So we can do that one, 24, and then the overall length will be 21. Okay, so let's do a circle. This is 24. Let's hit OK. And the length, as we mentioned, this is 21. Hit OK. Now we can select that face and let's do the other two faces, which is now we're making this section here. So we have a 30 millimeters and the thickness of that is 3 millimeters here. So let's provide this dimension. So this is 30. So once you're happy with that, we can just hit OK, extrude it. And then this is 3 millimeters. It's going the other way. So make sure we flip that direction and just clicking on right here. Let's hit OK. And lastly, let's make the hole. Select the face, sketch, and let's see what's the dimension of the hole. So it is 18 millimeters hole through all. So provide that 18. Let's hit OK, and then extrude a cut, and then we can say through all and hit OK. So after we have that, we can just give it a nice color. Let's make it green. Let's hit OK. And from here, we can just save it as bushing. There is bushing one. That's how you do the bushing. Next, we will do let's do the roller. And for the roller, if you notice, we need to follow that section right there. And then we're just gonna use the revolve feature in SolidWorks so it can create the roller. Okay, so we have this shape, so that's what we're gonna start doing in SolidWorks. Okay, so let's go to new part. Then from here, let's let's select the document properties, units, select millimeters, and then hit OK. Front plane, sketch. Right now, what I'm gonna do is I'll provide some construction lines. So construction infinite length. That will be horizontal, and let's do another for vertical. So this will be my reference point. Okay, so let's start making that shape that I was referring to, and then we'll provide dimensions at the end. So we can do something like this, like that. So I'm just going by the drawings. So the dimensions from here to here, we have, this is supposed to be 24. This right here is 3 millimeters. The, the 3 millimeters is taken from 76 minus 70 divided by 2. So that will be 3 millimeters in thickness. Okay. So once we have that, we can dimension this one here. This is 20. This is 20. If you get something like this, don't you can always drag it. Um, the next point that we have to dimension is this one here. So this one here, from here to the center, this is about 40. Okay. Then we have the thickness of the pulley inside. This is 4 millimeters. Okay. Then we have that dimension. According to the drawing, this is supposed to be 76. Just gonna I'm just following, start from bottom to top. Actually, this is 66. 66. The top is 76. Okay. Can just drag this aside and give it some dimension. So this dimension here, from here to here, it's 9, and I think the last dimension we need is this one here, which is 3 millimeters. So after we do this, we just need to mirror this sketch to the other side. So for that, we can just go to the mirror entities. The mirror line will be this, and the entities will be the whole sketch. And then let's hit OK. After we do that, we can just complete the sketch and use the revolve command, mirror about that line, and that's how you will do the roller. So we can provide a color here. We can try to see. Let's keep it that one. Okay, let's hit OK. We can save it as the roller, and let's hit save. Next, we can do the shaft. As you can see here, the shaft is 80 millimeters long, and then we have a few diameters. So the bigger one is 18, the smallest one is 12, and we also have a 6 millimeter drill, and we'll do the chamfers at the end. So let's start with the center cylinder, which is 50 and 18 in diameters. So let's do new part. Let's go to settings, properties, units, millimeters. Let's hit OK. let's select the front plane. Let's hit OK, and let's do a circle here. This one here is 18 millimeters. Let's hit OK. Provided some thickness. I'll do mid plane, so the thickness goes both ways. So this is 50 millimeters according to the drawing, 50 millimeters. After you're happy with that, let's hit OK. Using the same front plane, let's sketch the smaller diameter cylinder, and that one is 12 millimeters. And then let's do extrusion. The length of that cylinder is 80. You can just put here 80, and that's the 80. Next, we can work on the chamfers. We have two chamfers, 45 degrees on both sides. So for that, we can just go to the fillet and select chamfer. The angle here is 45, and the length, we're just gonna change that to 2 because that's what they need. And then select just the edge on both sides. That's how you do the chamfer. And lastly, we're just gonna do the hole. The hole right here is 6 inches, right? And so let's select this face, and let's make a sketch. Select the circle, and let's provide a quick dimension, 6 millimeters. Okay. And we can use the extruded cut command to make the cut through all. Okay, so that's how you make the cut. Lastly, we're just gonna make that middle hole, which is also 6 millimeters in diameter through all. So we can use either top plane or the right plane. Let's use the right plane on this case. Let's hit OK, and let's use the circle, and let's give it some dimensions here. This is 6, and let's hit OK, and extrude a cut. We can use the through all both, and let's hit OK. And lastly, we can just provide a quick color here. Let's use that one. Okay. And we can save this as the shaft. The last component that we have to make is the bracket, and we'll refer to these dimensions for the creation of that component. So let's create a new part. From here, we are selecting the top plane, and let's do the sketch. Select the center rectangle for the base, and let's provide some dimensions. So this is 72 by 5. So 72 is just the 48 plus 12 on each side, and then 35 is the depth, and the thickness is right here, 10 millimeters. So that's what we're going to do. So let's hit OK. Extruded boss base, and then 10 millimeters. So if you notice, something that I didn't do was to change the units. So we can just click on settings, units, change it to millimeters. The only thing with that is that you have to go back to the sketch and modify it. So this is 72 by 35. Let's hit OK. Also, the extrusion, the thickness, that has to be changed as well, 10 millimeters. And there you have the base of the bracket. Next, we can do the cutouts that we have here. Some cuts. So we have 5 by 6 throughout the whole part. So we can select the face of the component, select sketch, and then let's do a, rec, a rectangle here. So this is 5, and from here to here we can do 6. So in order to make that 6, let's delete that constraint, and now we can try one more time. There we go. So that is 6. Okay, and let's use the extrusion command through all both sides and hit OK. So there we have that. Um, After we do that, we can work on this section here. So we have 15 millimeters in diameter, actually in radius, and a distance of 50 millimeters to the center of that. So total will be 65. So we can select the right plane, which is at the middle of the component, and we can do the sketch. Okay. And let's do a rectangle right here. So as we said, the distance from the bottom to the center of the circle was 65. This distance here is 6. And then we can say that this from here is equal to 0. So it is flush with the. So after you're happy with that, we can just hit OK. Let's go to the extrusion command. And then from here, we can select mid plane. And the thickness of that will be 30. That's because we have a 15 millimeters radius. So that would be 30. Let's hit OK. So next we can work on this top section right here. So let's provide a fillet, or we can do this at different ways, but I'm just going to use the fillet command to do this 15 millimeters in radius on the top. So let's use the fillet, change this to 15 millimeters, and select the top section, and let's hit OK. So after I have that, I can just go back to that face and do a sketch, and let's do the other required circle right here. And this is going to be 5 millimeters, because the total is 13 and then minus 8. That would be 5. Let's make sure it goes to the right direction and select on blind. So that's that right there. And we can also work on these fillets right here. This is 15 fillets on both sides. So let's do that. Let's select the fillet. Let's do 15. We can select that. And also we can select this section right here. Let's hit OK. Now let's do this reinforcement at the back. So this is 10 millimeters thickness, and it goes from here to a height of 40 millimeters. So same thing, let's select the middle section of the model, and let's create a sketch. We're just gonna do a couple lines right here. So let's go up to somewhere there, and then from here to here. Now let's give it some dimensions. So we said this is 40, and that's all we need. Let's hit OK, and let's provide a thickness of 10. Make sure that this is set to midplane so it goes in a symmetric way, and let's hit OK. Now we have to do the fillets on the outside right here, which is 12, and then holes 12 millimeters diameter. So let's start with the fillets. Fillets are 12 millimeters, so we can just select that face and that face. Okay. So there is a hole wizard command right here. You can just gonna select right here this option, which is the hole, symmetric, drill sizes, and 12. Now let's go to positions, select the face where you want the holes to be at, and now you can hover over the edge so you can see the center of the circle. Same thing on the other side. After you're happy with that, you can just hit OK, and that's the holes on that section. So we also need a hole here for the same diameter, 12. So let's go to hole wizard. So this should be drill sizes, and let's select the number 12, which is right here. Now let's go to positions and select the face, and now we can select the center of that section right there and hit OK. So that's how you have the you make the bracket, and let's give it some color here. You can just make this. I'm good with that color, so let's hit OK, and we can save it as the bracket. So that's how you make all components. So next we'll do the assembly. So let's go to new assembly, and let's hit OK. Let's go to the unit. Let's go to settings. Let me exit this first, and then let's go to settings. Let's go to document properties, units, and millimeters. So the first thing we're going to insert is the base. So from here you can it's already populated because those were the components that we just worked. So if the component is not here, you can just click on browse and select the component you want. So let's hit OK. So that's the base. Next, we can bring the bracket. We can bring the bracket. So the bracket right here, we're just gonna holding the. So let's select the inside face of that circle, and holding the control key, select the inside face of the other one, and we are going to make this concentric. So that means those two holes are aligned. So you can rotate this. So we'll do the same thing for the other one. So it'll fit into the base. Okay. So now the part can only move up and down. And for that, we're just gonna select the bottom face and the top face and make this concentric. So that's for our first part. The the next component that we're going to bring is we can do the shaft. Let's do the shaft. The shaft, same thing. With this will be concentric with that. So let's make that concentric, and then you can see the shaft can move only sideways. For this, we just gonna select the center of the whole assembly with the center of shaft. So it'll be at the middle. So you can see it is at the middle. So you can see it right there. Okay. So next, let's bring the roller. So insert component and then the roller. Same thing. You can select any cylindrical face with the other one and make that concentric. So following the same steps, we're gonna select the center of the whole assembly with the center of the roller and make that coincident. And we have that part right there. Now we can bring the bushing. Let's bring the bushing and let's make this concentric. That would be the first step, concentric. So concentric to any cylindrical face, which is the same. And then I want this face right here to mate with that face of the roller. Let's hit OK. So there you have one section. And the other half, we can either do the same steps or mirror. I'm just gonna select the mirror command, mirror component. So the mirror plane will be the middle of the whole assembly, which is this one here, and the components will be the bracket and the bushing. Select those two and hit OK. And there you have the other half assembled. Um, Next, we can utilize this design library toolbox for the to put some holes in there, to some bolts. So let's go to toolbox right here, and then just click on adding now. Metrics. We can do bolts and screws. Probably we can do. Let's try this one here, and select this one here. So if you recall, these are 12 millimeters. So from here you can. So it was actually automatically selected, but you can change it. So it is 12 millimeters. So after you select that, you can just hit OK, and then you can hover over close to the hole, and you can see that it'll snap automatically to the assembly. So you can do that, and then the length you can adjust it later if you want. So same thing with the other hole. Let's do with this one here. Okay, like that, and then lastly this one here. So let's say if you want to adjust the length of you can just delete this one here, of anyone. You can just select the the bolt or whatever component you have, and you can just drag it down. You can even decrease it. So let's make a flush with the part. So we can do it like that. You can see that it's very practical. Okay, so that's our assembly. Um, Now I'm going to show you how to make this the exploded view. Um, so you can see how all the parts come together. And for that, we're just going to go to the exploded view here, and this is going to be the menu on how you want this part to be exploded. So step number one, that's basically the first part. So I'm going to select these four components first. And then after you select all of them, you're just gonna drag it up to a distance that you wish. So here's the distance right here. Um, we can say this to be probably can say 100. So that would be the first component, right? And then we can click on done. So now this is step two. Step two will be pretty much second component. So select the component and drag it to a distance that you wish. And then we can make this 200 millimeters away from the assembly. Click on done. So let's keep going. So the third part will be the bushing, right? So that's the bushing. And after you select it, just drag it. And right here, you can change it. So we can make this 175 and click, click done. So the next one will be, we can take the roller and drag it. For this one here, we can say 150, click done. We can go to the other side of the assemblies, doing the same thing, drag it, and let's make that 150, click on done. Next will be the bushing, drag it, and make distance. Click on done. Next one will be the shaft. You can go up or down. Um, let's go let's go to sideways. This one here, we can just make this 90. Click on done. And finally, the base, we can just drag it. Let's drag it to the other side just for demonstration purposes and make that 200. And click on done. After you're happy with all the exploded views, you can hit OK. So under Configuration Manager, that setting will be saved right here. So that will be on unexploded, and this will be the exploded view. You can just double click on this configuration manager. So in order to make the animation, we can just go to the motion study at the bottom right here, and then we have this menu. So we have lights and cameras. You can set up this before the actual animation. So for example, directional one, that's just a camera at this particular location. You can drag the camera as you wish and also adjust the brightness right here. So let's say you like it like that, we can just play around with this and then hit OK. So after you're happy with your illumination settings, we can go here to animation wizard, and then this menu comes up. So we want the animation to be exploding the part. So let's select the explode, and then duration, this is 8 seconds. That's fine with me. And then I want the start time to be after 1 second. So we can put that 1 second, and let's hit a finish. So we can minimize this so you can see it bigger, and then let's play. And this is what we just created on the previous steps. So let's say that you want also this to be unexploded. So it goes back to the assembled position. So we can go back to the animation wizard. Now we can select the collapse, click on next, and we can just select the finish. So it'll collapse after it exploded. So let's hit play. So this is on the exploded. So now it's going back to the assembled state. Also, if you want this animation to keep going in loops, you can just click on this menu right here and select playback mode loop, and so it'll go back in loops, as you are going to see in 1 second. So now it restarted to the exploded view, and yeah, so this is how you make this animation and the assembly of the belt roller support. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.